Hi, welcome to the Stockinette Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Jane Itma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 105.
Cool.
Yes. And don't ever say that to a little kid, because they're like, O isn't a number, it's a letter. I have a...
Smart kid.
You know, it kind of comes in the genes, but I've got a little bit of a contrarian in my daughter. She points out when things are wrong.
Yes.
Is that called precociousness? Is that kind of what precociousness is?
Sure.
Okay.
Don't know.
How are things with you?
Pretty good. I don't remember anything that happened to me all week. I really don't. My brain is mush. I had a really busy work week right up until the end, and so like things kept falling off my radar. You know, like, what tasks am I letting drop because I'm too mile a minute, can't keep up. And then so we got through the work week, and then Monday and Tuesday I didn't really have much on my plate, but I had other work that was getting backlogged, so I was clearing that, and things started back up again. And there's things that Megan reminded me of and other things that are going on that I really need to get on top of. So hopefully, bear with me if you're waiting on me for something.
Life happens.
Yeah.
My house has been in shambles.
Yeah.
We have had painters and people doing siding, and so yeah, I kind of felt like a person not really living in this home, but more living trying to live in this home. Like, I can't shower up here, I have to shower down here, and where is this located? It's not where it used to be, and all of the toys in the house are stacked up in a pile over there, and we were just taking long enough so that you could have that FO.
Sure. That's what it was about.
Yep.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Rockin' and rollin'. I guess we didn't really do administrati, did we?
Okay, administrati. What you got?
Administrati.
Cool stuff.
Yes, very fun and exciting stuff.
Yeah, we need some help here. Focus.
So we have, at the end of this episode, we will be reviewing the Journey ebook, which is now available for pre-order. And I think it's this week is when you can, when you pre-order the book, which is a pretty good deal. You get the digital copy and the hardcover copy, and I don't know how long that promotion lasts, but I know that the pre-order ends soonly.
Okay.
And again, I could have mentioned that during the review, but it was and they very generously gave us a copy to give away, and so we that's going on administrati wise. We often do announce giveaways in the administrati, right?
Sure. Yep.
And then other goings on, we just have all these people that have exciting things that are going on, that are contacting us, and I'm so excited that we get to be involved in the excitement. So that was with Jane Richmond and Shannon Cook. And then the other one is the Mustache Yarns, along with Melsky, are doing a kit for, and I'm going to butcher this, I watched their little video with the express purpose of hearing them say the word so I could remember it, and of course that is the very thing that is making me forget it. Halilea? It's a Hawaiian word. It looks like hail with another LE at the end, and an apostrophe and an A. Anyway, they're doing kits, which are super cool. And like in my super privileged yarn mind, like $70 plus $5 shipping for a garment quantity of yarn is a good deal. Yeah, like I can make a garment with $70.
1,500 yards, so I mean it's a significant amount of yarn.
Yep, I could make like an Austin hoodie, right? Like that's enough for me to make an Austin hoodie. Not that I would be making that again, but that's like a hood and not cabled, not heavily cabled. Anyway. Back to the point. They very generously gave us a kit for us to have, and then a kit to give away, and they have some really pretty colors out there.
They do.
Yes.
So we're going to have a drawing for that.
Yes.
What we're going to ask you to do is say what you do to beat the winter blues.
Yes.
And we'll have a thread. 1 entry per person must be a member of the group. And we decided that was going to be closed.
We're going to record a day early before the Wednesday before Halloween. Or Halloween. Thanksgiving. And so that'll be the 26th is when that thread will be locked.
Okay.
And the KAL for that, so that she'll be shipping out the yarn in December, and the KAL starts December 26th.
And it's their KAL, not ours.
Yeah, not our KAL, but their KAL. But I'll be participating in that. And yeah, that's super exciting. That's a huge giveaway. So thank you very much to Stacy and Mel for including us in that promotion.
And that includes the pattern, right?
Yep.
All that money.
Pattern. It's not just the garment. You get the pattern included in there as well. And super reasonable shipping, like $5 for.
I think I paid $3 on my pre-order.
Or is it $3? $3.
It's really cheap shipping.
Yeah. So we're excited to try it out because I haven't been able to catch any of their shop updates.
No.
So super excited to try that out, and thank you very much to both of them. And that was all the administrative that was fit to be had. I have still yet to cast on our KAL that's currently going on and crushing it. I have 2 hats that I completed this week, but I was not good and didn't cast on the...
I've been wearing mine, and I haven't cast on any. It's like I already knit 2 of those. I'm done. And while, I still have way too much on the needle. I'll get to it, but maybe not during our KAL. I'm just gonna admit it now. I mean, what's the point? But I finally got our Sun Valley Fibers KAL done. Yay! So I'm wearing my Pontenue.
Beautiful. We've transitioned into the FOs.
And I got my buttons from Ginny's, and they were 25 cents each. Wow. It's like when I need 13, that's a steal.
No joke. That'd be when I would find the perfect one and look down and they were like $5 a piece, and you're like, no.
Yeah, I can't get these. But I was just looking for
really nice on you.
Something that was floral, and and this will be worn more as a pullover, even though it is a cardigan. And I think that the 13 buttons really help, keep everything nice and together. Nothing's gaping or pulling too hard.
There's not much different, or not much
distributed weight or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like laying on a bed of nails. Right? Your distributed weight. You're not pulling on as much on
that, and the distance in between them is very little, right?
The distributed weight. So all the way down. And
then does it fit over your head?
I can.
Without the buttons unbuttoned?
Yes, I did that. I buttoned them, then put it on. So it was a fun pattern, and I'm loving the yarn. It looks very nice.
Mods were
this was supposed to be garter, and it's a twisted 1x1 rib. So it's just twisted on the knit stitch and 1x1 rib. And instead of going down needle sizes, I just left it. So this is getting a little stretchy after wearing it all day. But it was fairly tight when I put it on this morning. So maybe could have gone down 1 needle size, but not the 2 that was required for the garter. And live and learn, but I'm cool with it. I'm not going to change it.
I think it looks fine.
And that was it. That was the only change. I think everything else was to pattern. And so just wrapping your head around about how long you should make something when it goes from garter to a, I just went with how the picture looked as far as how many I should do. And then I did an extra 2 or 3 rows on the internal button band, just to make sure that any gaping or pulling would have some room to not show any skin or camisole, as it were. And that was it for that. I got some socks done. Tanya's mom's socks are done.
Yay!
They have the Fish Lips Kiss heel, which was really fun, but, and I might use it again. I'm not going to say never, because these aren't for me, and I want to make another pair for me that has the Fish Lips Kiss heel, so that I can give it a try for wear, and then maybe from there on. But I don't know why I couldn't memorize it, and maybe that's just more of them will make it more like something I can memorize, but right now I just couldn't get, it's like it should be easy to memorize. I don't know why I have to keep referencing the pattern. I think it's because of the boomerang and then what you do after the boomerang that I can't figure it out. Like the first part, that's easy to memorize, but the boomerang and then what you do after the boomerang gets confusing to me. But these are done and they will go in the mail soonly. I just have to get them weighed and then postage calculated, and then send Tanya how much it's going to cost to get them mailed, because this is part of the sock takers, sock givers, sock classifieds. So she paid for the yarn and the shipping. And the yarn was actually very reasonable. It was $7 or $8. It's on the ball band when I bought it. And it's, yeah. So I don't know. I think shipping something this small to Canada couldn't be more than $6.
Yeah.
Couldn't be. So
I was trying to remember
I'll
how
get
much
that.
our kids were. Those are big. Yeah.
Yeah, those are big. I think that was 10.
Yeah, so 6.
So
maybe.
6.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that bad. I'm gonna get that calculated so that we don't, get too overly aggressive with that. And then I'll put the leftovers in there too. It's for repairs, just in case you need them. And then I have one more square. Woo, my bib. So that is 12 squares total now, and as excited as I am to keep knitting on them, like now I have a red one. Red is next.
So are you doing them by color? No, they haven't been all, like it was orange last week. And
right. I had been balling up 2 balls of yarn at a time and then knitting on every other. So that I knit one orange and then one blue and orange and blue and orange and blue, and then it ran out. And there really is this much left after 3. So you get 3 squares per ball. And I only balled up the red because it was the one that was the odd duck. If I wanted to start playing with how I want to lay them out, I needed more red to be able to get a good idea of where the colors might lay out. So I'm going to get some more red so that I can start playing with the layout. And so I'm going to knit all of them red. And this ball will be done. And then I will go back to my alternating for fun. And what else do I have? Okay, my Nanny Swimo. I ripped out this much, you can see. It was like 4,500 stitches. Because the band on the side was, it just wasn't lining up correctly, and I knew I wouldn't be happy. I just misread the pattern. I think it was actually a flaw in the pattern because I read it several times, and it said to repeat the 3-stitch repeat all the way around. And I looked, and I had you marking the seam, and I'm like, well, why are we marking the seam this early if you're just knitting all the way through the round? And when you got to the pattern portion, that's when you found out, oh, I should have restarted the pattern at the seam.
I can't remember. It was something, I remember when I did it, it was something goofy, like you had to read instructions, like pre-instructions that told you to do that, versus like it being in line with the pattern. Like it was like you place a seam and then at the seam you restart, and then when you actually read the pattern it was like it didn't say to do that, but you told me to pre-told me to do it. You didn't tell me to do it in the, I think.
Okay, well, I'll look at it. Basically, it was confusing.
Yeah.
And by the time I got to through the 3 inches of the hem and started like 2 repeats of the, I had to fudge it to make them all fit because of the problem, the air that was in the band. And I was like, it kind of went from a straight line to a cockeyed beep. It kind of dinked over, and I'm like, oh, well, I could just drop and purl these stitches, and I was fixing, and I spent a whole evening futzing with it. And at the end of the evening, it still looked like, no, I can't do this. So out it went, and it's back to getting on track. I've only got 1 inch. So it'll be a while, but I think that this will, after finishing my sweater and the socks and whatnot, this will be the main night knitting project. So it should get zoom.
Are you going for Nanny's Fimo then? You're going to try to...
Yeah. Especially now that I got an additional 4,000 stitches that I didn't normally have because I had to rip them out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how far I'm going to get, but I'm going to try. I mean, you have the holiday in there and car travel and things like that, so it might get done. Yeah, I'll go for it. College try. And then my son
Amy just wants to tell you all about her things today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Do you have any finished objects?
I do. I was so excited about them. You go right ahead and talk about your WIPs. We'll just do all Amy at the beginning, and then Megan will just wrap it up at the end.
Sorry.
We'll just talk at each other.
Okay.
Deep breaths.
Yeah. I knit my son's 2 at a time socks toe up with an OMG heel.
Woo!
And so they're finally both churned, and I'm on, leg, and they'll be done. Woohoo! So I don't know what kind of, if they'll end up being bust knitting or what, but once I turned the heels, they kind of lost interest, like, oh, well, these will just be boring until the end. So I'm gonna try to decide what to do with those, but since I'm done with that square stuff, I don't know. Yeah, this is the Swimo. We talked about that.
What are those?
I started some seamless Salomas for my mom. Although this looks like the pocket's gonna be enormous.
Yeah.
Like,
mine are a little worse for wear, and they've been on my feet, but
yeah, that's a lot. That's gonna be
ginormous. I never noticed how big your mom's feet were, apparently.
No, I think it's because I was thinking, oh, I could do, oh, I don't know. They could just be baggy, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think that this will be too big.
No, not like that they wouldn't stay on her foot big.
Yeah. It's just one of those things, it's a lot of extra stitches. But, I don't know.
What size did you do?
I did the large, but this is on smaller needle size. And I'm knitting.
So it didn't compensate?
Yeah, it didn't. I'm fine. I don't know. Don't know what happened.
I don't know.
So these are supposed to be for a size 10 person's foot, right? Ladies size 10. And I can't, I'm like, well, that's probably what I'd knit for me, but they look like they would fit my husband. So it must be something about the yarn held double that's making them bigger.
Yeah. Or maybe the gauge is...
I don't know, the gauge looks pretty similar to the...
Yeah, it does. You're right.
I don't know.
Yarn does funny things sometimes.
Don't know. But yeah, I basically picked the pattern size that was too big. I didn't knit on these forever, right? This is just a little bit, so maybe I'll redo it so that they're more the appropriate size.
I'm loving seeing all those out there.
Yeah, fun
There's
stuff.
Lots of fun ones. Lots of holiday knitting.
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna pick up my...
That is all of Amy's knitting, all in one ka-chunk for you.
Yes, kaboom.
You guys could probably be playing a drinking game. I have like a divot in my finger, and I keep on these
sharp needles keep on poking me.
Goos keep poking me. It hurts.
Need like a little protector for your pusher.
Yeah. I think Sally from Idaho taught in her class you're supposed to put a piece of Scotch tape over it, and that'll help. And then it sticks to your finger as well. Just a little tasty tidbit for you. I did not work on, I guess that would be more in the works in progress. I'll talk about my finished objects. So I have been designing, and 3 of the things that are sitting right here are designing. And I'm not really ready to say the whole story yet, and more when the pattern's going to be released, more coming. But I have 2 dyers that I worked with that I really wanted to make sure that I got, they got mentioned all kinds of times, and I'm really happy with my finished objects. So this is the design in honor of my sister, and that's all that I'm going to go into it now. But last year I did the For Good, and this year it's going to be Measure in Love is the name of the pattern, and it's a cowl and a hat. And when my sister was a forester, and when I was thinking of designing it, I had seen all of the Leading Man Fiber Arts foliage out in the social medias, right? Like, ooh, that's beautiful. Oh, a shop update. Oh, she's knitting a sock head. Oh, and so I contacted Steve and Andy and asked if I could special order some on their DK base, their Dramature, which is 100% superwash merino, and they very generously offered to donate it. So this yarn was donated for the design, and it's kind of got a little chevron motif, and it also has some gartery slip stitches, so it's very smushy, and it's meant to be, this is a kid's hat. So as you may have seen on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, as I was knitting it, my son Dexter just kept insisting relentlessly, like, Mom, that hat's for me. Mom, you're knitting that hat for me. Mom, did you know you were knitting that hat for me? And so it is. It is his hat. And it's a little tight on me. I designed the hat to be a little looser. So the For Good had about 2 inches of negative ease, which is about what this is on me. So this is a little too tight for what I was going for stylistically. But the variegation just makes this sing. And as I was knitting it, it was so much fun. So like from here to here, there's a line of where it stayed orange for a while, and I was like, oh, we're on an orange spree. Oh, we're on a brown spree. I really like the way that garter looks with variegated, and Amy very aptly pointed out that garter in the round, but at least it's not a whole, to contrast these stitches, it could be all pearls, right? All pearls all the time, all reverse stockinette. So at least the garter breaks that up a little bit. And I know I've complained about pearl back rows on shawls before, but in general, I mean, juxtapose this with my big sweater of nothing but stockinette, and I gravitated toward this, obviously, which is why I finished it. And then I had another dyer, Mrs. Jeanette of Sun Valley Fibers. She dyed up this very beautiful colorway, which I believe we have named Favorite Forester. And this is more of the size and the style that I was going for. It's kind of tall. The garter likes to smush, as Amy was alluding to in talking about substituting the ribbing versus the rose kind of. And it's just such a pretty colorway. And the skein, I could see that there were some browns and bronzes and a little bit of greens and evergreens and golds, but it knit up so nicely. And so this is an example of what the hat would look like in a more, tonal colorway, rather than a highly variegated. It's more of a subtly variegated. And this is out of her BFL base, which I absolutely love. BFL in this base is so nice. So it's a superwash BFL. It's skeins are, I don't have the tag with me.
I have some of this for I think it's 230 yards.
Yep.
I bought some of this. Gotta analyze it. I haven't knit with it yet. So pretty.
Yes. So there's that, and Jeanette is going to be dyeing up some more of this colorway, which again I said was the favorite Forester for my sister, because she was my favorite Forester. I would go so far to say as she is my favorite Forester. Until
of all time.
Yes, of all time. Unless, you know, one of my kids grows up and becomes a Forester, and then we might have to have like a Forester off. I'm going to impersonate some of my favorite podcasters that wear hats in their podcasts.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I've never had the courage to do so in the past, so I normally just take it off. Actually, I think I've been warned, but it's not courage. But yeah, so I'm really excited about the design and the wonderful dyers that I've gotten to work with, and I'm looking forward to telling you the story, but just want to hold off. I don't want to be barraging you with it weekly, right? Like, so we'll cover the story in the future. And then my work's in progress. I am doing the Nanny Swimo. I finished up 2 balls and joined in 2 new ones, so I kind of staggered the start, so I didn't start alternating skeins until a little bit in, so that I didn't have to join 2 new skeins at the same time. I mean, not that they would line up exactly, but they're supposed to be similar yardages in them. And that way, if you join 2 at the same time, sometimes even though you're alternating skeins, you get a line. Because it's 2 new colors introduced juxtaposed to the 2 old. So if you have the one going and it runs out and you swap in a new color for that one, but you've still got the old one that was there all along. Sticking around, it makes the transition a little smoother. And I don't believe that you can see where that line occurred. Sorry, it's getting big. I've made him try it on, and the faces I get from that man. I'm like, I am knitting you a sweater, and you have the audacity to be like, when I'm trying a sweater on you that I hand knit for you. So the modifications I have made is I made this a custom size because it needed to be 41 inches, not 39 or 43. So I did a few less increases than the bigger size and a few more than the smaller size. And I separated for sleeves last week. And am I boring you? Okay. That's what you get for doing all your things at one time. And then on the side, because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do 18 inches of stockinette in the round with that many stitches, I put in a matching little underarm garter tab on both sides.
Yeah, I think your gauge is a lot tighter than the one that I knit for my husband with the same base.
This, I'm knitting it on, these are the my China needles.
They don't say.
I think it's 8s and 6s. I think the 6 was the just tight.
Seems right. Yeah,
tight. Yeah. For this is Dreamin'. Back it up now. Do my due diligence. This is Flax by Tin Can Knits. It's one of their free basics patterns, and I'm knitting it out of Dream in Color. No, that's the wrong bag. Dream in Color Classy in the gray tabby colorway, which I think is very apt. I may have said that last week. This is my brown dog bag. With the leaves, we still have siding equipment parked in our yard, so we can't pick up our leaves yet. And what else was I going to say about it? I said Flax and Dream in Color Classy. Oh, I was going to do a little impromptu. These are actually not the ones, those are the ones that my sleeves are on. I really like like these needles. I don't mind the join. I don't ever have, with this large of yarn, it getting caught on that join, and I kind of like the angling. At one point I was doing a true knitting in the round, but psychologically it was hard for me because it was like the row without end. There was no end. And so I prefer, and it might just be my knitting style, but I actually prefer to cinch it up all like that and work back around to where the gap is, because then I feel like I've accomplished something. And then I do it again, and then I, cinch it up, and then so it's going. I think I've got 9.5, and I need, before I start the ribbing, 16.5, so I've got 7 more inches. I'm kind of losing my will to do it. Yeah. Like the other stuff is infinitely more interesting. Sorry, I'm covering up my mouth because I'm so embarrassed. Like, I'm a sweater knitter. I can do this. I can power through it. But yeah, ultimately I'd like to be able to get it done, like, if not in time for the Thanksgiving holiday so he can wear it, be like, as we're sitting there, oh, I just ate my pumpkin pie, and then I'm like, done. Like, so yeah. National knit a sweater in a month. I'm gonna do it. And this I actually have, and it's really nice with these garter ridges on the side. I can count my rows. Oh yeah, true. So I was at 27,760 stitches this afternoon when I counted my garter rows. And then I put a little doohickeys here, so I know when I update. I've got, of course, a spreadsheet that has all of my numbers in it. Like, when I separated for the sleeves, this was how many stitches I had. I have prognosticated that I will have 53,000 stitches by the end of this bad boy. Good. Taking into account my husband's arm length and how long he wants the sweater to be, and row gauge and all kinds of fun stuff. So there's that. And I enjoy the needles that I'm using. They were a good find, a good buy. Those Cherry Sky, I believe is what they're called. And if you don't like them, like if they're not sharp enough, if they're not blunt, you can always use it to like put your sleeves on as stitch holders, or I've been using them to do that. Yeah, and this one on my other one, on my my turnstone, which has gotten no love.
And if it's actually the right size needle, you can just knit them off and then cast them aside.
It doesn't even need to be the right needle if you're doing it in the round, right?
Oh, that's true.
The feeder one can be any size it wants to be.
That's true. Smaller being more appropriate. But
my socks got a little bit of love, but I didn't grab them, mostly at bingo night because I didn't want to take the big sweater. And turnstone got no love. And then this is the, it'll be included in the pattern with the hats, the Measure in Love cowl. So this is the big 52-inch cowl, and then there will be a half that, 26. So a little closer. It's going to be, it's got the same stitch pattern, except you're doing the lace a little more often. In the hat, I didn't want it to be highly ventilated. I want hats to be warm, and on this I figure if it's up close and around your neck, the lace won't be as noticeable. But this is in, again, the Leading Man Fiber Arts in the showcase base, in the industrial parenthetical documentation light colorway. Leading Man Fiber Arts, yep. And that's in my Annie Light little skein bag. It's really nice. It's a really nice, I'm knitting 2 yarns held together size. Because they just kind of sit down there in the bottom. It's a nice 2-ball sack. And they're not separated or anything, but they right. And yeah, look at the little sweaters. I think some of them are still out there if you're interested. And the little sweater, and the knit birdhouses. And then every once in a while, I look at the little ring and it says happiness. Cool. Just really nice touches on that. Yeah, so then this has been, I cast this on like yesterday. Like this has gotten all of my love. I'm like, sweater or that lace and garter cowl. I wonder which one I'm going to do.
Wow, it's a day. That's nice.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, casting on the number of stitches I had to cast on was a little annoying. For a second, I was like, I'm the designer. I can make this lengthwise instead of around, but I wanted the look of the around.
Yep.
So.
I can see that.
And I feel like I've been picking stuff off of. I think it might be because I'm wearing a gray shirt.
Could be.
Which I got at Darn It anyway. Love the yarn you're with. And that is that.
Cool.
You covered your stuff. I covered my stuff.
Okay.
Yo, yo, yo.
So we just had a little bit of retreat stuffs, right?
And enabling, right? You had a...
Oh, God, I almost forgot again.
And we're going to... Amy's having a memory problem. She needed to take her ginkgo biloba, but she forgot. And then we have the review.
Again, if you have something that I am supposed to be, you're counting on me for something, please send me a reminder.
I mailed out a lot of prizes today.
I did too, but I was supposed to do it on Monday.
Well, Monday was Veterans Day, sweetheart.
Oh, well, I was supposed to get it ready. I have the postage gods.
In the power of your hands.
Yeah, the power of the internet.
Yes.
So...
I agree, but you couldn't have mailed it until today anyway, so.
Tuesday anyway.
Oh, Tuesday, you're right. Whoa.
It's late.
We're dangerous.
So don't get us together.
She can't keep track of what's supposed to, I can't keep track of the day.
So, these were gifted to us, and you can read from Anna Dixon, Knitting with Sir
Ancelot and Lady G podcast.
Yeah. So, thank you very much, but it has specific instructions to open on air. So,
oh dear.
Oh, I did read this.
Okay.
It doesn't have any clues in it.
What it's supposed to be. Mine says Megan. Here's
okay, opening on air. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. What is it? Ooh.
Sockies.
Yes. And they're smooshy socks.
Yeah, they're knitted. Like, this is not the gauge I would knit socks at. But that's going to make them really comfy.
Yes.
Cool.
Ooh.
Exciting. Stripies.
Yes.
Were these entered in our KAL?
That would be fancy. Thank you so much. Hand knit socks by somebody else. Oh, nice.
Put it over my
Mine's
socks.
Mine's very, might be the same yarn.
Yeah. It feels different.
Yours feels different?
Well, no, I mean just smooshy.
Yeah, I don't know what the content is.
Did
the note say?
No. No clues.
Well, Anna, you knit me socks and they fit. So thank you very much. The Operation Sock Drawer to the rescue.
Yes, they do.
Yours are very
pretty good fit.
Yeah, they look kind of watermelon-esque.
Yeah. It's I see it.
Watermelon-esque.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Not very often you get sent socks in the mail. Unsolicited.
Sock.
I mean, so good job.
Classifieds needed there, yes. We must take pretty good notes on our project page.
Yeah, just say what size our feet are. And
And I love my blue and yellows. So thank you, Anna.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, all right. So I got new, totally new stuff I'm wearing from the beginning of the podcast. Hat, new socks. Promise not to change anything else on here. All right. So as I alluded to at the in Administrati, we are reviewing Journey by Shannon Cook and Jane Richmond. Journey, a collaboration. And I think I remember from previous ones, if I hold it down, then the lights don't shine and you can actually see. It is an ebook, and it retails for 26 Canadian.
Okay.
Which I was surprised to find out is very similar to, I mean, it's basically, you could just say 26 American as well.
Okay.
I don't know if one has gone up and the other's gone down. But I had a few comments on the book itself. It's very, like, visually stunning. Like, and she sent me the name of the photographer. I don't know if I can find it in here or not, but it's by Marion Ray Publications. I knew that. They did a really good job with the photography. It kind of has the feel of a coffee book to me. Like, at the beginning, you could hand this to somebody like my mom, and she would put it on her coffee table and have it open to knitwear. And granted, my mom has an appreciation for knitwear because her daughter is a knitter, but it has a tale, like it's a progression. Like, they are on a journey in their pictures, and the pictures include the knitwear, which is pretty cool. So, like, for instance, they start out and they put on their socks, and the socks you can see in the story, throughout the story, with their little distinctive red stripe lines at the top, and put on their boots, and then they go, right? And they've got a shawl, and they're at a farmer's market, and later on they're in a car with their baggage, with their mitts on. And so it's almost analogous to what this podcast has been like, right? Like, at the beginning I started out, and then I changed and put a hat on, and then I changed my socks, and then, you know, like, the knitwear progressively accumulates on
That's right.
on the peoples. And just really, I enjoyed the photography. What else did I have written down here? The pictorial portion reads like a progression. You get a combo deal currently. And then I just had my comments on the patterns. So I skipped right past the socks, which look like, I can't remember, can I click here and it'll take me? It does, yes. Climb is by Jane Richmond, and it is out of fingering. Okay, so it's not like a heavy sports sock. Can I do anything and go back? Yes, I can. Ooh, I'm getting dangerously good at this. I really liked the next one in the progression is Onward.
I like this one too.
I guess I can't click on that and make it go. Can I click here? Yes. And it is a triangle, and it's by Shannon Cook. She's loving the mommyhood, and very Shannon. She's got lots of branding. I'm not overly in love with triangles anymore, but I could see this being a really great, making it into like a square. And I want
a baby blanket, or
and I want to make it into a square, and I'm going to live in it. I don't know if I can. Yeah, that's kind of pixelated, but it's got arrows. It's arrows going in directions. I don't know. Are they juxtaposition directions? But it's very, it's very simple, right? I mean, it's not cables, and it's not. It's just knitting and purling, and I say that I don't say that disparagingly, that it's just knitting and purling. But yeah, I want to take this pattern, turn it into a square, and then have it on my couch, walk around in it. I mean, you could use it as a shawl doubled if you have it as a square, right? But you could also use it as a. And this calls for Lark, which is a worsted. Worsted weight. So it'd be a worsted weight shawl or a worsted blanket.
Well, and you see the model wrapped up in it. It's a big shawl.
Yeah. I don't know if I can find the picture with the model wrapped up in it. Currently, I've kind of got it queued up for us to look at the
detailed pattern.
Yep. And the next one up was Spate, I believe, and that one is by Jane Richmond. And Amy, you liked this one. I'll show it as you speak.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a really pretty, simple mitt. And mitts are just really fun, fast knit usually. So I don't know, I appreciated their simplicity. You know, they weren't too overly worked, but still had interest in them.
Yeah, it's not a stockinette mitt. Bleh. And these would zoom. They are out of worsted. So this one, their example is out of Targhee wool. Sincere Sheep Bannock.
Cool.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I liked them.
Yeah. And I'm in love with chevrons. So the Swift.
Always?
Yep. Always. Forever.
It's got the arrow theme too.
Yes. Well, you're going places. You're on a journey. And the forewords really, I didn't speak of that either. The forewords really meaningful, I guess, as far as the journey that we're all on, whether it's to self-acceptance or, you know, where you're going. So yes, here is the Swift hat, which has the chevrons. Hopefully I didn't glare you out with our stage lights. And that one is by Shannon Cook, and it is on 2.5, so I'm guessing it's a fingering weight. It's on Chickadee. It's sport. It's a sport. So that one's going to be pretty thick. The next one, which is probably going to be my next garment on the needles. I say that and then something will come to mind that I said that I was going to knit before. But it's and I'm going to butcher this, Androworse. It's knit on an Aran weight yarn. It has a really interesting neck detail. It's not a Henley where like under bust is where the buttons are, but it's got a side button, and then it's got those arrows going up the front. There's a panel, and then garter detail. And I think I have the yarn in stash. I recently bought some close to Aran weight yarn. Amy kind of helped me with that one, and I didn't manage to enable her, but you'll see that in future enabling. And it's just really pretty, and I could see it going fairly quickly. I could see it being a really nice accent piece, and then you could really either blend the buttons or have them be like a bazinga. I just don't own anything like this, right? Like I can look at cardigans and I can be like, well, it's just a different stitch pattern on the cardigan, and I'll still knit it, right? Because it's beautiful and I want to knit it. But this is just a piece that I don't have in my closet. And I too have been kind of like, should I be knitting cardigans lately? I've been kind of wanting to knit. I obviously have some cardigans coming up that I'm going to be knitting, but I appreciate that it's a pullover as well. I believe this is Shannon's first garment. She does lots of sewing, if you follow her blog, but I believe this is one of her first garments, which is very pretty. And the other thing that I noticed about the pattern that I really wanted to point out, and I've done something similar in my recent patterns, and you won't be able to see any numbers or anything here, but rather than, there's a wide range of sizes, so it goes from 30-inch bust to 50-inch bust, rather than have it like, I've been struggling with the flax on this. Like, they have so many sizes that you end up like counting what position you are in the parentheses. So like cast on 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and you're like, even on that one it's in child sizes, so there's like the child sizes that are in parens, and then the adult sizes are in parens following it. And I think Jeremy is like in between the 5 and the 6, and every single one I have to count. Well, they just have rows that have numbers, and your column, which is your chest size, and then in the pattern they say this is measurement A, and you go find yourself in the chart.
Oh, okay.
And so then you could just circle that whole row or that whole column and have your numbers and either fill them in if you wanted to in the pattern or reference it and know. I like that.
Yeah, it's like I've gotten used to highlighting or circling right when I start a pattern.
But have you ever done it wrong? Like gotten the wrong ordinal, the wrong position.
I've heard of people getting that done. I don't remember doing that. Right now I'm doing one where I'm the first of the second parent, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, second parent, first entry. Yes.
Yeah. This just seems so tidy and smart to me. Like, just do that instead of, like, because then there could be error in the pattern part as well, right? Like, not that it wouldn't be test knit, but like, it's just, our minds aren't meant to read, okay, I gotta find the 5th number in, you know?
Right. Or if all the numbers are in one place, there's less chance for you to copy and paste something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is that if I'm reading A and then I'm flipping back and forth to a chart, I might go in and have to write A equals, I might above where it is in the pattern, just so that I don't have to keep flipping back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Easy enough to do.
Yep. Yes, for sure. And then I also like the way that it looks open as well. A nice little ventilation option. If it got a little warm, you could open up the neck and have the one side fall over and have it fall open. I didn't find a really good picture of that arrow. Let's see if I can get that. Next up, schematics. They have the inland, which is knit out of chunky, I've written down, bulky yarn on 10.5, US 10.5, 6.5 millimeters. It has pocketses and is by Jane Richmond. At first when I looked at this, I was like, oh, well, pockets, but I also like the patterning on it, and it just has a unique look. I mean, a lot of Jane's stuff has a unique look about it, but it has a unique look.
To be honest, when I look at it, I think it looks very dowdy. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like buttoned up librarian-ish or whatever, not to insult librarians, but I mean, just very reserved and frumpy looking. But when you think like chunky, bulky weight wool sweater with large pockets, I'd be living in it. Like, if I knit that thing, I would be living in it. It would be so comfortable and smushy, and yeah, I would want to live in it just because of the large pockets and just the sheer size of it.
And the pockets are really interesting as well, because they look like they kind of veer down. Like,
And of course, the beautiful blonde model
doesn't look like a librarian at all.
Or anything, yeah.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. And I really like the white that it's knit in. I don't own a lot of white. But yeah, there's different textures, right? So the pockets are stockinette, and then the body looks like it's
reverse stockinette.
I don't know if it's reverse stockinette.
A little different.
Yeah, a little different. And then it's got that unique collar. Yeah. That she's ever so cutely cuddled up in. Doesn't she look warm? Doesn't she make you look like you want to knit it so that you can be warm too, like her?
Yeah, and again, like I said, just
really long.
Just looking at it, it wouldn't have been my first choice, thought. But when you actually get down to thinking about it, it's chunky. It will go a lot faster, and just thinking about what that's gonna be like when it's on is like, oh, that'd be like a hug,
Yeah, and they're both top down, which is my thing. I was just thinking about that. My cowl, it kind of looks like a bottom-up sweater.
Oh,
like it would be like the missing piece of a midriff. And so we will be giving away a copy. I think that was all there are 6 patterns. There's socks, 2 garments, a hat, and the shawl. Did I miss one? And the mitts. Is that more than 6?
No, it's 6 total. I remember the picture of all the patterns. It's 6 total.
Yep, 6 total. So yeah, socks, shawl, mitts, hat, and 2 garments. And it, as I said, retails for $26. If you buy it now, you can get the ebook and the copy the hard copy sent to you, which I think will be really pretty to have around. And we'll be giving away a copy, and the feed will be, I was trying to think of one, and I had one until we started talking about
TBD.
That. Yeah.
We'll open one, and Megan will give you inspiration about what to talk about.
Yeah. How about, something about your journey.
Oh, yeah.
What do you, journey. Mind will fester.
Remember.
Yes, and thank you to Jane and Shannon for including us in their,
yes, it looks like it'll be a very beautiful book.
Yes, a very beautiful book and some very beautiful patterns. Other than the review and the giveaways, and we wanted to talk about your hanging trinket swap.
So we're bleeding into retreat stuff. I had opened up an ornament thread, and it's since closed for people who wanted to get to know some people who are going to the retreat by swapping ornaments. These will be knitted ornaments, not bought ornaments or whatever. But it will only be an ornament and a holiday card of your choice. I plan to write a questionnaire as well, so that you can answer the questions in your card to your person. So you'll get a chance to know the person who you've swapped ornaments with. It's going to be an open swap. I will pair people soonly, probably tomorrow, if I can get reminders set. Because I need a lot of prompting lately. And like, I'm in another ornament thing, and I'm like, when's that due? And I think it's due like, it used to be like, oh, it's late November. I got plenty of time. No, there's no time left. I mean, it's already the 13th, going on the 14th. I can't, you gotta get booking.
I am 16, going on 17. Baby,
they're doing that live musical, aren't they? They're going to be doing.
Oh yeah. I saw Carrie Underwood.
Yeah,
it's going to be.
Interesting.
Wonder. I don't know what made them want to do it live.
Yeah,
that's an interesting twist to me. But
it'd be more like live theater,
I guess. Yeah,
like seeing it as a production. But anywho,
I'm sorry. I wanted to interject that we've had a few people contact us that they will be unable to attend the retreat, and so we are pulling at the beginning of each month people from the wait list. So the top 5 exited the wait list and have been offered a spot, and so do not lose hope if you are on the wait list. We are. You may possibly be up next, depending on if people contact us and say they will be unable to attend.
Yes, so. and because of the holidays and just being the end of the year, we're going to be doing this at the top of the month rather than sprinkled. So we're just going to, as people cancel, we're gathering those numbers, and then we're going to be offering at the beginning of the month.
Yep. So heads up on that.
Not that it's been a lot of people, but enough that are coming off the list. So exciting.
Yes, for sure.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Ufta.